grab, and he's going to be sacked.
What's going on, Broncos country? We got the Fantastic Four back. It's your horsepower hour with Kodiak Broncos Podcast, Marquee Sports, Jeremy, Sean of Broncos Unbridled, and myself, David Talks Broncos. Y'all get in here, join the discussion. Today, it's going to be fun because this is going to be our last show, I guess, before legal tampering period starts with free agency. And so we have decided, y'all, to talk about probably the most pressing position for the Broncos, and that's the running back position. So we know that y'all are going to have a lot to say. We're going to all give our top five between free agency and the draft, our top five running back fits, for the Denver Broncos. So we'll do draft, we'll do free agency. Before we get started, though, guys, I think this would be a fun little icebreaker. Going to put y'all on the spot. We'll start with Kodiak because he's the quickest, thinking out of all four of us. But if there's one guy you want the Broncos to sign outside of running back, who is it and why? We'll start with you, Kodiak.
One guy outside of the running back position?
Yes.
All right. So what have we heard all about Alex Singleton this offseason? That he knows the defense, that he's a very valued guy in the building. All right. And this isn't the sexiest pick, but if we're just going for just pure free agents right now, I'm going with Leo Chenal from the Kansas City Chiefs. 9.99 relative athletic score. He was the guy that I wanted the Broncos to take. Instead, we took Greg Dulcich, which is safe to say that didn't pan out. But I still think there's a lot of room to grow in his game. Obviously, he's familiar with Leonard, even though Leonard is not within our building anymore. But either way, I still think he's intriguing to me. I think, he'd be a really fantastic addition. I think he'd fit right in. I think a stronger defensive ecosystem than what the Chiefs have would allow Chenal to thrive.
Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Mark, how are you going to follow that up?
Yeah, that was a good one, man. It surprised me a little bit. I think my number one target this year would be Wan'Dale Robinson. I think the more I think about him, man, the more I think he's a perfect fit for what it is that we need. I know everyone gets caught up on find your wide receiver one. They don't grow on trees, man. It's hard. And what Wan'Dale Robinson can do is definitely elevate this room. I think he could help replace a lot of the lack of tight end production that we've gotten, because even though he's obviously not a tight end, he's a small slot receiver. He can kind of, get open in a similar ways that a good tight end can, right? It's safety blanket, red zone, third downs, across the middle of the field, short-handed. So I think he's a wonderful fit here. And I think this whole narrative of Sean Payton doesn't like the small receivers is a little bit overblown, in my opinion. If you kind of look at his history, he's got a lot of guys, but he's changing his ways, man. I mean, he fired his longtime buddy at offensive coordinator. He might give up play calling duties. I think he's gonna. So he's willing and open to changing. And I think that Wan'Dale Robinson would be a wonderful fit here, man.
Jeremy, we got who we got off the board? Leo Chenal, Wan'Dale Robinson. Where are you going?
Yeah, let's go. Let's go Tyreek Hill. No, I'm just kidding. I don't want Tyreek. I'm gonna go with same position as Kodiak did. Let's go Devin Lloyd. How about that?
Okay.
That might be a nice addition to get some I don't know. I haven't thought about it enough, I guess. But linebacker seems like this position we probably won't be drafting too early, I wouldn't think. So that's why I would prioritize probably that position in free agency. But yeah, that's a good position. Definitely needed of upgrade for sure.
Yes. Well, if I'm gonna go with signing one free agent, we got to sign that is not of the running back position. Screw it, man. I'll stay on it. Isaiah Likely, baby. I think he's got the best
Yeah, that's a good one.
receiving chops right now out of all the free agents. I know he might not be the inline blocker that some of the other guys are, but like Cody or Mark brought up, we got a little bit different of a play caller there. You would hope that Davis Webb can get a little bit more out of guys that are just absolute mismatch nightmares for defenses. Isaiah Likely's my guy at the tight end position. I'm feeling less and less bullish that it's going to happen. So this is my last, waving the Isaiah Likely flag, hoping that it happens. But man, we got K. Dotton in here. We got people talking about Dallas Goedert. That would be great. Devin Lloyd. I mean, cool. Just make us a better team. And the thing that's going to make us the best team is getting a darn good run game. So, guys, that's what we're going to do. We have been working all evening to come up with our top 5 between the running backs or between the free agent running backs and the draft running backs, our top 5 for this position. Guys, we didn't even talk about how we wanted to do this. Do we all want to go around and like say our top, our number 5 guy or number 4 guy? Do we want to start at number 1? I didn't even think about how we wanted to do this. Any particular thoughts?
What's the chat want?
Let's do the countdown.
You want to do the countdown?
Yeah, maybe like you wouldn't want to do like a round robin. Everybody does their 5s, everybody does their 4s, everybody does their 3s kind of thing.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. So we'll start at 5. I like that.
Yeah. Well, let's work backwards. Jeremy, let's start with 5 and then we'll work our way around. All right. The number 5 best fit running back for the Denver Broncos. Go.
Okay. A couple of disclaimers from my list real quick. I covered the free agent running backs 2 weeks ago. So I'm going to strictly put my focus on the draft, just so we make sure we get enough of the draft guys in there. Also, as you'll see through the list, I didn't even put Jeremiah Love on there because we're not going to be drafting him.
Right.
So I didn't necessarily do it in the ways of like, these are the top 5 in my order of who, but this is just the fit as you were talking about. So my number 5, and this could be maybe somebody who could be left for a little bit later in the draft. Hopefully we'll see, but I have Nick Singleton, and he's 6 foot, 224. He's only 21 years old. And he's one of those guys that if he would have came out of the draft last season from Penn State, he probably would have been RB2 or RB3. And he went back, didn't have like the breakout year that people were expecting.
Mm-mm.
And his problem for me, the only thing is like, he doesn't have a great missed tackle percentage. Like his vision was not what you would want it to be. And that's a big one for me because I love vision in a running back. But if we don't re-sign J.K. Dobbins, like you're going to need that third down back that you need to be able to trust. And he's great in pass pro. He's great in pass catching. That if you could get him in like the 4th or 5th round and have a guy that could come in, and if you don't quite trust RJ Harvey, that might be a nice little, gem. And he runs hard. He's going to be one of those guys that you can give it to, get the tough 1 yard, put your head down, get it. He's got the frame, all that kind of stuff. So Nick Singleton, I haven't, if you go back and look at his tape for like 24, you're like, this guy's unbelievable. It's just a weird one-off. So you kind of have to do your research, do your homework a little bit on him, but I could see him being like a steal if he ends up sliding a little bit.
Well, I think he's going to slide. He broke his foot in the Senior Bowl. So I think that you can potentially get him. I don't see him getting drafted now. So I think that he could be a guy that you sign as a priority free agent that ends up carving himself a spot on the roster later on. Do you guys know like the recovery time for his foot injury? Should he be good by training camp?
Depends on
how
kind
bad
of
it
broken
is.
foot
Yeah.
it was.
It was a 5th metatarsal bone in his right foot. Is that the pinky toe?
Yeah. So a metatarsal is like, okay, if this was your toes and this is the part that's like sticking, like your actual toes, the metatarsal would be like this part. It's the part that's inside the main part of your foot, not the actual part, not the actual toe. It's the toe bone but not the part that's sticking out. I've broken 3 of them before. That's how I know.
Jeremy, I was about to say, how in the world did you know all that?
Yeah, I broke. So in summer in between 5th and 6th grade, I decided to jump off somebody's truck to try to dunk a basketball and then landed on my foot incorrectly.
Nice.
And I had 2 surgeries and yeah, it's not that big of an injury. It's just a broken bone typically, unless you had to have like surgery. But even with the surgery, it was like 6 weeks. Typically it's like a month or maybe 4 to 6 weeks. So nothing, that's not too crazy. But
Okay.
PFF has him ranked right now at 119th overall. So I mean, a broken bone in the foot is gonna like hurt his testing, which is what he would have done really well,
That's what he
obviously.
needs to do. Yeah.
So yeah, he might slide, but I don't think he'd go undrafted. But if you can get him 6th, 7th, I mean, I would definitely.
Okay, so if it's not like a Liz Frank, this sounds like it's less serious. When they say broken foot, it's kind of an exaggeration.
I mean, it's a broken bone in your foot, but it's not.
Yeah,
it's not that
it's called a Jones fracture. I'm looking at it. So 6 to 8 weeks to fully heal, return to activity. They're saying 3 to 4 months. So definitely not a Liz Frank, which is good. But yeah, he would have torn the combine up, man. He would have probably rose a lot from the combine, but
that could be good.
Got all the talent.
Yeah.
Well, strong start here. I'm also happy this is not the names that we've been talking about consistently too. So I think that this is a great start for us. Nick Singleton starting off number 5 for Jeremy's list. Mark, where are you at?
All right. I got a little disclaimer on mine too. I'm operating under the assumption that Kenneth Walker III is not going to be available.
Okay.
I didn't even think about him because if he is, he would obviously make this, but that's kind of my disclaimer. I was really struggling, man, between 5. I kind of wanted to do a 5A and a 5B, but I watched your video that you put just before this, David, and you talked me into it. My number 5 is Rachaad White.
Dude,
he's always been a running back I really liked. I don't know how he necessarily would fit with RJ since they kind of do the same things very well, but I like Rachaad White because he's a solid pass protecting back. He can catch the hell out of the ball out of the backfield. Can still run between the tackles really well. And I just think he's not going to be very expensive. He's a solid size. He's still pretty young. Doesn't have a lot of tread on his tires either, which you like to see. But this guy's kind of a freak athlete too, man. He's buttery smooth. I think he'd be really good. I think especially in like a situation where if the Broncos were to bring J.K. Dobbins back, then I really like Rachaad White a lot because he could fill in for RJ and do it very well. He could fill in for JK when he gets injured, unfortunately, as well. And I think from a cost standpoint, he'd make a lot of sense. So like Rachaad White, I've kind of liked him for a few years now. I liked all of Tampa Bay's running backs. Sean Tucker too, obviously. They got a lot of studs there. So Bucky Irving, one of my favorites. But yeah, Rachaad White is my number 5 pick.
Dude. Do you got any idea of what you think a contract would look like for him in Denver?
I would say if you're looking at a 3-year deal, it'll probably be 3 years, 21 to 24 million with 2 of those years guaranteed. So $15 million guaranteed. That'd be my guess.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And that's kind of like off the cuff, but I feel like he's in the $6 to $8 million a year range.
Yeah, I would say so. Kodiak, I see you pulling something up here off screen. You want me to throw that on here right now?
Absolutely. So, guys, number 5 for me. This is going to be like my, how do I put this, late round UDFA that I really want the Broncos to go after. So if you guys have not heard of Seth McGowan out of Kentucky, his story is absolutely nuts. It is crazy. So I was watching the tape and I was just like, okay, why has this guy transferred between like 4 different schools? And he actually did share the backfield at New Mexico State last year with a guy who's going to be probably really high up on my list as well. But guys, I'm sorry. Seth McGowan out of Kentucky. All right. The personality matches, what you're going to read in this article. And I love that because I'm tired of these running backs that are just like so grateful for the opportunity, man. I want some menaces, all right? Jaleel and Bidet just aren't getting it done for me. I want guys that absolutely wreak havoc. I want dudes that can, be, reckless off the field, and I want that to translate to on the field because Jaleel and Bidet, man, this past year, anytime a linebacker would just come up in their face, they'd just be like, oh, sorry about that. Nah, man, I want convicted felons at the running back position. We got to try something different. All right. So Seth McGowan, he did end up robbing someone. Like, this isn't even alleged. Like, he did plead guilty to robbery charges, and he did ultimately have to do 3 months in prison. That being said, I think it really turned him around, man. I think it really turned him around. Obviously, you could read some of the stuff he did, and while all this seems not good on the surface, man, I'm just tired of not having dogs at the running back position, all right? So Seth McGowan, he is absolutely fantastic. And what really stuck out to me, he actually had 35 missed tackles forced on 166 attempts. I believe that that's one of the highest rates in the class. That's not from a guy like Jeremiah Love. And the thing that I love about him is, all right, you look at the numbers after contact, very productive. But one thing that fits his game so well is the receiving capabilities, okay? 18 receptions, 121 yards. And he also did really, really well sharing the backfield with, I'll just spoil it right now, Mike Washington, when they were both at New Mexico State. 280 yards in 2024 receiving. But you go back to the rushing, he was still highly productive, sharing the backfield with another running back who's going to be drafted very high. So all I'm saying, man, is I just hope this guy has a really good combine. And once again, we need dogs at the position. So I want our running backs to be a little unhinged, all right? 5 guys up front, they can be the, as long as Bulls and Miners are still playing at a high level, they can be the, just happy to be here sort of guys. My running backs, I want them to be the loose cannons. I want them to be the dudes that are robbing guys off the field.
Respect my co-host. Did exactly what I was thinking. I love that.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I know the Chiefs and the Browns have a lot of picks, but listen, I don't know. I hope he's a Bronco. That's all I can say.
Wow. I was not expecting this take, but BK also saying, we might as well bring in Tyreek Hill. Are you warming up to that angle too, Kodiak?
No.
Enough of these guys that are grateful to be here. We want some guys that are ready to come and take a guy's job and eat and get paid, baby, and ask for the ball, want the ball in crunch time, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, for what it's worth, to his credit, I heard this whole little documentary they made on him. It was like not really a documentary, but it was like a little section they had in I think ESPN. This kid's really turned his life around after he got out of prison. I believe his brother had died from gang violence and stuff like that, and he really completely flipped his life around. And just they say he's really matured. He's kind of a different person. So I don't know if he's gonna have that dog that Kodiak really wants. Maybe it's still in there somewhere, but really cool kind of story of flipping your circumstances around, taking advantage of it, and the fact that looks like he's going to get drafted, I think, is pretty cool. So shout out to him for that, I guess. But oh man, Kodiak came through. That was awesome.
Kodiak,
that was great.
You spoiled my thunder, man. That was my number 4, Seth McGowan.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I had the same exact take, man. Like. But here's the thing. It's like, we can make fun of the fact, he went to jail, all that stuff. But like, it really did seem to, you can go one of two ways when you come at a crossroads and stuff. And the fact that he's kind of like playing with like a gratitude and like, he's going to give you everything because he knows what the difference between like life without football would have been and what his life could have been. And so I like those kind of guys. I like guys that play with a chip on their shoulder. And if he's going to assault and battery something, let it be the grass instead of people on the, but he's one of those guys that gives you extra effort, runs hard through everything. Like that comment about him being like Pacheco is very, very accurate. Cause I want the guy who's like knows where the first down is, going to give you that extra stuff and always like brings that toughness. And this offense needs toughness because we have it on the defense, but like, you have certain players like that aren't the biggest and the strongest sometimes, like Troy Franklin or RJ's not always like he's a smaller guy. So I think that's a great compliment. It's just like get somebody who's just going to be able to put his head down and get some tough yards. And honestly, I do think, like, I mean, you definitely have to do your research and all that, but like, I think he would be the perfect type of player that we need, and mentality wise. So I'm rooting for him. But like, surprisingly though, PFF has him pretty high.
Yeah.
They have him at 98 overall.
Yeah, top 100 player.
So yeah, I thought it was a big surprise, and then I looked it up on there, and I was like, oh, I guess not that much, but yeah. And I just like that kind of guy. But yeah, great choice, Kodiak.
So is he a dog or is he Mr. Nice Guy?
No, he's still a dog.
We'll find out.
He's just a well-trained dog now.
He just focuses it on the field as opposed to off the field.
Okay, well, I guess I'll go with my number 5 guy, and he's not technically available. All right, he's not, but I think he should be available because his cap number is an issue, and that is a lot of people going to get mad at this one. Alvin Kamara, baby. All right, he's got an $18 million cap hit with the Saints. If the Saints cut him, they only save like $325,000. Here's where things get interesting, though, is that it seems like there's been a discussion more so of late about how the Saints need to move on, at least get something for him, because they're going to ask him to take a pay cut, maybe. But I think the Broncos could get him for a 7th round pick or like 2 7ths. I mean, we got a 4th for Devon Vele. Maybe just cash considerations at this point. But if they designate Alvin Kamara as a post-June 1st trade, they save like close to $11 million on the books. New Orleans does. And I think he would be on the books for a little over $11 million for us. But that's just 1 year. That's just 1 year. We got cap to spend. We could figure it out. But I think he's got another year in him. Still not at 2,000 carries yet. I think he's at, okay, he's got about 243 left before he hits that, or 233 left. Not the most impressive numbers this past year in New Orleans. He kind of slowed down in the second half of the year and then dealt with some injury. But I think he's a guy you bring in. Sean Payton's trust is massive when it comes to getting on the field. He can do that. You can platoon him, and it doesn't hinder you from drafting another running back high. So this is almost like you're probably not bringing back J.K. Dobbins and bringing in Alvin Kamara. I think I would still take Alvin Kamara over J.K. Dobbins, like in a vacuum. I know that number's a little high. Maybe you extend him for another year and, you drop that cap hit significantly. I don't know. There's different ways to work around this. But, I would not be surprised if the Saints move on from Alvin Kamara. He's 31, all right? Doesn't even want to play for a Super Bowl? We'll have to find out. I know this take probably won't be a popular one. But give me your take, guys.
I'm way all out on that, honestly. Like, not even, but I'm so scared, David, because I know Sean Payton's like, I don't care that he's 30. He's drooling.
Exactly.
He's just drooling over Alvin. I thought you were going to say Josh Jacobs because he's someone that could potentially become available. I could have gone behind that, but man, no. Eventually we got to move on from from all the New Orleans guys. I mean, there's one guy that I know me and you both agree on that I'd be okay bringing in because it's going to be super cheap. But yeah, even giving up a 7th rounder and then taking on a pretty big, sizable chunk of cap, it would be I'm all good on the Kamara, even though he was so good. But
it'd have to be like a full restructure, something where the money part would have to make sense to even think about it.
Yeah. Look at you guys coming in with all the facts. I figured. Kodiak, put this one to bed.
The way it would make me feel is one adjective. It begins with an F. That adjective is flaccid. If he was like our outside the team running back free agent acquisition, I'd be like, dang.
Wow, I thought you were going to do F for finally we have a starting running back. So, all right, let's move on to number 4. Our number 4 best fit for the Denver Broncos at running back. Jeremy, you already talked a little bit about Seth McGowan. You spoiled it for us.
Yeah.
But I'll bring up his profile here. Is there anything left unsaid about Seth?
The only thing I add to this is he's 25, going to be 26 in like October, I think. So that is the part where like you obviously are thinking about that. But running backs is one of those positions where if you draft a guy, get 4 or 5 years out of him, and then see ya, like we did with Javonte, like that's okay. Like you can do that with that position, especially if you're not drafting too high. And he doesn't have the wear and tear. He's been sitting in other places and not on a field. So so there is that too. So sometimes with age, there comes a lot of wear and tear, but with this one, it kind of doesn't. So that would be the one thing you'd have to think about. But again, can you do me a favor? I don't know if it's possible, but can you pull up some Seth McGowan just pictures? Because there's the before picture where he's got the full on neck tattoo braids, and then the after picture where he's got like that eyeglasses and like, and it just, you can tell it's like a totally like, look at the one in the black shirt down to the right, and then look at that one. It's like 2 different people, right? You can tell.
Jail post.
Yeah. So, but still the same guy behind the eyes. You know what I'm saying? So like, no, I honestly think that could be a sneaky choice. Sneaky choice.
Wait, is that number 30? Would he go with number 30?
Would he be allowed to? I don't know.
Draft him.
No.
He's number 3 right there.
3? Is that what it is? I think it's 30.
No, he rocks number 3 in college.
Yeah. See the YouTube one. But yeah, that's all I got. I think that was the main part. I just love the guy's effort and love his I mean, there are certain people like you can tell like something knocked them straight, you know what I mean? And like I'm rooting for him for that, because a lot of people don't learn from certain lessons. So
facts. All right, Seth McGowan at number 4. Mark, where are you?
My number 4, my number 4 running back is Tyler Algier. Super high on him, man. I know he's 4th on this list, but I'd be thrilled if the Broncos got him. I just think he's such a good. He'd be really he's about as solid as it gets. A very underrated guy. Dude is still just 25 years old. Obviously, split most of his career with Bijan Robinson, so doesn't have a whole lot of wear and tear. He's a bruiser. He's incredibly durable. I don't think he's fumbled in his career. You have it pulled up. You could probably see it. I don't think he's even fumbled once.
He hasn't.
Yeah.
Look at that.
He's phenomenal in pass protection. So, you got to love that. And he's just a great complement to what RJ Harvey can do. He's already proven he can thrive in a running back by committee role. You kind of cooled me off on him a little bit, like without actually mentioning him, because I talked about like, if we're not going to give our running backs a lot of carries, you want to have someone that at least can pop. But that's kind of what Tyler Algier's done most of his career. He's just been productive whenever he's gotten the chance to. Went over 1,000 yards his rookie season. But again, durable as hell, reliable, great in pass protection. He's got an ability to catch the football out of the backfield, but really he's just going to be your bruiser. He's so good at short yardage downs. He'd be like a really solid running back for the Broncos. I would love it.
I'm starting to warm up to Tyler Algier a little bit more, man. Who was that running back on the Chargers that was behind LT? And then he went to the Falcons, man. And
Michael Turner, was it?
Dude, he kind of reminds me of Michael Turner in that way, where he's just kind of waiting for his opportunity.
Yeah. And I think he's going to be really cheap too, man. Like from all they're not always right with like the contract estimators or whatever, but I don't think he's going to be super expensive, at least compared to the other guys. So again, I think he'd be a really just a solid, smart choice and somebody that I feel like Sean would probably like, and he's familiar with him being in the NFC South. And so, yeah, I mean, I dig it. I think Tyler Algier will be dope.
Mm-hmm. Also, looks like Eli has gifted 5 Marquee Sports memberships to your channel, Mark. How do you
Eli
redeem
is the
them?
man, bro.
He is.
Eli is the man. Thanks, brother.
Yeah, so if y'all hit join Marquee Sports, right? You might get one of those.
Yep.
Right? I think
Yeah.
that's how it works.
I think that's how it works. Yeah. I might make a shirt for Vinny DeRosa. So I think a ghost took a shit on my chest last night. I think I might make a ghost took a shit on my chest shirt, put that in the store. You can buy it there with that membership. So go join.
Make sure it's a sleep shirt.
Make sure exactly.
Right. Ew. Okay. Kodiak, who's your number 4 guy?
All right, number 4 guy that I want the Broncos to acquire is Katron Allen. All right, I think he's going to be the second to last running back I talked about of potential draft prospects. I mean, Katron Allen is my RB4 in this draft class. I just think, I love the way he runs between the tackles, man. And watching Katron Allen, he was a very, very, I will say, boring watch. But then he ropes you back in because when you are least expecting it, he hits an enormous play. And I was just like, ooh, that's a little different. And I think he weighed in at 5'11", 217 at the Senior Bowl or Shrine Bowl or whatever it was. So definitely clears the size threshold for your lead backs. And either way, Penn State runs a lot of really wacky formations. So he is kind of a tougher eval than I initially thought. But once again, you see the playmaking ability, man. Surprising big playability, but also really, really nice between the tackles mover. Really, really good vision, which is something we did not have from a lot of our running backs last year. And I thought he read his blocks extremely well. I think he's extremely smart. And the way this guy really, I think, got his start is when he was a senior at IMG Academy. He dropped 140 yards in 1/2 against Bishop Sycamore. You guys remember that story? He was actually in that game. I rewatched, that game last night, and he dropped 140 yards and 2 touchdowns in the first half against them. So yeah, I guess that's kind of how he got his start. And the 3-down skill set's there, man. And once again, we already talked about Nick Singleton, but what I will say is, as Singleton his year was a little wishy-washy as Penn State went just down in free fall mode. Katron Allen only rose to the occasion.
Yeah, if I had to choose one out of the 2 Penn State guys, I'm going with Katron Allen, especially now that you dropped that Bishop Sycamore stat. I mean, imagine somebody's career catapulting based on, playing Bishop Sycamore, man. That's crazy. Did you watch the documentary?
Yes, actually, I watched the documentary 2 years ago, but I rewatched the whole first half of the game last night on FaceTime with a bunch of friends, and we were just dying laughing.
You can tell it's the offseason, man. Kodiak is going down rabbit holes. He's cooking right now.
All right. Well, yes, I'm cool with Katron Allen at number 4. I'm kind of jealous that I didn't have him in my list. At number 4, maybe something that's a little bit more reasonable here. We'll, spare you with another trade target. Jonah Coleman. I love this guy, man. And I just don't think he's going to be available at 62. So I think the Broncos would probably need to either select him with their 30th pick, trade back, and select him in the early second round, or trade up into the second round and go and get him, man. He's a guy that I think he can do it all. He's got great vision. He can run through you. He can break tackles. He's got some shake to his game, some explosiveness to his game. One of the best running backs in college football, which, checks out. Guys are consistently ranking him, the number 3 back in the NFL draft. But I also like his physical archetype. It's a little bit different than RJ Harvey. And it's nice to have backs, that can do some different things, right? For me, it's not like the most important thing. It's, can you make big plays? And I think he can make big plays. But he's a guy similar to like Tyler Algier, some of the other guys you guys have mentioned, where I feel like he's always falling forward. And you're always profitable with a guy like Jonah Coleman, man. 2 fumbles this year, so that's something that's kind of like meh. But no fumbles the years prior at Washington and Arizona. And caught 31 out of his 34 targets. So you can pass on the ball as well. 15 touchdowns on the year. If he was on Ohio State, he'd be a first-round pick. Jonah Coleman.
That's nice. Yeah, no, I really like Jonah Coleman. Even though I have him rated as my RB5 in this class, he's very good. And he's just one of those players that I feel like is just very safe and very bust proof. And that doesn't mean he has a limited ceiling at all. I just think that if you're just asking me, of the guys I have outside of Mike Washington and Jeremiah Love, who I think is just most likely to just be a really, really good pro in the NFL and have a long career, it'd be Jonah Coleman.
And for what it's worth, I don't mind whether it's Jajarian Price, God forbid, Jeremiah Love falls to 30, right? But, if you're going to take a running back that was perceived to be a second rounder by all these stupid big boards, dude, who cares? If this is a guy that's changing your offense, take him with pick 30. We're not going to see it as a reach 6 months later. That's how I see it. If this guy truly impacts your offense. So, Jonah Coleman, let's move on. Jeremy, remind us of your top 5 so far and where you're going for number 3.
I had Nick Singleton at 5 as a late round type of guy. I had Seth McGowan at number 4, and my number 3. I also have Jonah Coleman coming up, but not at 3. So it's coming. But number 3, I'm assuming I'm going to snipe Kodiak on this one, probably Mike Washington Jr. He's 6'2", 228, 23 years old, just a big man, and totally different size and feel than RJ Harvey is, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's also just big and dense, but still agile, like still got some shake to his game. And, he's great yards after contact, which you love to see from a big man, and just people bouncing off this guy. If he lowers a shoulder on you, like, good night. And what I love about a guy like this, and the Broncos haven't had a guy like this and desperately need one, is just think about a tired defense in the fourth quarter at altitude trying to tackle this man. Like, that's when you can just break someone's will, like that's when they start to feel, they don't feel the altitude in quarters 1 and 2. They start to feel the altitude in the third and the fourth quarter. And then you got to tackle Mike Washington, who's 228 and just coming straight for you. Like, no, thank you. So I just think it'd be a perfect comment to RJ Harvey. I just I've been wanting a guy that's, you could look back at that AFC Championship game where it's like 4th and 1 and you're doing a weird bootleg and you're not sure what call to make. I want a guy that's just like, hey, we're giving it to him. Good luck trying to stop it. Like, That's what I want.
Yep.
Like, impose your will on some people, and you have the stadium and you have the advantages to do that. So let's lean into that. That's why it's always wanted a punter who could punt deep in the altitude. And I want a guy who can just end your day in the fourth quarter. So Mike Washington.
That's the problem.
What's that?
You just got to tell Sean Payton that, man. I don't know. He used to listen to the show and then he blocked David. So I think now he's probably boycotted us, but yeah, dude, I've been wanting to see the home field advantage, altitude. I've been wanting to see that advantage back for a long time. I feel like it's just the crowd noise, but it doesn't seem like players really get affected by it too much because we refuse to run it down their throats, man. But I 100% agree. Mike Washington, I think, is you can make an argument that he's a top 2 running back in this draft. He's phenomenal. I was shocked when I saw that he was 6'2", 230. Right. He does not move like that, so he'd be awesome. But I only have one rookie who made my list, one draft eligible player that made my list, and that's just because I don't know if Sean's gonna, trust 2 rookies, and if we do have 2 or 2 young running backs, and if we do, then how much is he gonna play him? So I'm kind of put all my chips in the basket on veteran guys for that reason. But that's a great shout. Mike Washington's a dope.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Mike Washington. And shout out to him getting 1,000 yards on a 2-10 football team.
Yeah, and he's ranked 60 spots lower than Seth McGowan. I know it's PFF grades, but yeah, Mike Washington's different, man. He's really, really good.
I will be so interested to see how the NFL scouts these guys compared to like these PFF grades, because that surprised me that Mike Washington's like 159 overall right now.
Yeah.
And McGowan's top 100. So it is interesting.
Yeah, I think I'm higher on Mike Washington than a lot of these big boards. We'll find out, though. We'll find out. Mark, where are you going with your number 3 back? And remind us who's your top 5 so far.
Yeah, so number 5, I had Rachaad White. 4, Tyler Algier. And number 3, I got Travis Etienne. We talked about this, I think, I don't know if it was last year or the year before, like trade for this kid. He's a perfect fit for Sean Payton's system. I still think he's a wonderful fit. He'd be a great compliment with RJ as well. He can catch the hell out of the football. He can run between the tackles. He's been fairly durable throughout his career, and he's a lot bigger than I think people think, of him when they think about Travis Etienne. I think they think he's kind of a smaller, fast guy, but no, I mean, he's got some decent size to him at 5'10", 215, but he's just been uber reliable, man. Like, over 1,000 yards in 3 of the last 4 years. The 1 year he didn't go over was dealing with a lot of injuries. He's had over 35 catches every single year. Can catch the really, really good receiver, especially this past year. He had 6 receiving touchdowns. But dude's a stud. I still think he's fairly young. He's only 27 years old still. And yeah, I just think he'd be such a good fit for what Sean Payton wants to do, man. And he's going to be a little bit more expensive, but I really dig him.
I'm sick of this talk about Travis Etienne. I've started to see it on Twitter. Because Ben Albright sent that tweet out, said the Broncos are interested in him, right? And they've been saying, oh, Travis Etienne, we don't need another RJ Harvey clone.
I know.
Oh, my gosh. Guys.
It's crazy.
He's so much better than RJ Harvey right now. Like,
yeah, but like, you don't want another running back that gets 12 touchdowns? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Like, we're acting like RJ Harvey's like this certified bum. Like, he's gonna get better. But last I checked, he had 12 touchdowns last season.
Yeah, and a guy, he can run between the tackles. I'm sick of this narrative that he's like a one-trick pony, like Julian McLaughlin or something like that, man. He's got vision. He can cut. He's got better vision than RJ has right now. And we just need guys that are going to upgrade the room. I'm less concerned again about, do these guys complement each other? Can we just get a room of like 4 really good running backs and then figure out the skill set stuff later on?
Yes, please.
Yes. And this guy can take it to the house. He can take anything to the house. Travis Etienne, man.
Yeah, certified stud, man. He's so good.
Thank you. Number 3, Travis Etienne on Mark's board. Kodiak, who's your number 3?
All right. Well, if you would do me a huge favor and put up my screen share. So listen, I've been on this guy since February 9th, 2022 for my NFL channel. All right. Ready? Tyler Algier is my favorite running back in the draft. And if you watch that video, you'll I literally said my RB1.
No, go back up to the. Let's see.
Yeah, exactly. Wait a minute. We're skipping over.
Wait, what? Okay. No.
Right, there we go.
The Cowboy.
Right
is that a Jets jersey?
Yeah. So, by the way, guys, I have no affiliation to the teams in the background, of the jerseys in the background. But Danny Trevathan jersey, how about that? Either way, in this video, I talked about, his story about him, being a Walmart cashier, walking onto BYU, then being really, really productive. And I think he was honestly part of the reason why the Jets were tricked into, accepting the fact that Zach Wilson was, their quarterback that they took second overall, because Tyler Algier was a big part of that BYU team in 2020, where they had a bunch of 25, 26-year-olds and were just dominating at will. But also, I just wanted to show off a lot of really funny things that people said. So I said that he was going to be a faster Javonte Williams. And I mean, I guess, all right, he plays the same style as Javonte Williams. All right. And this was after Javonte's rookie year, by the way. This was when people were still high on him. So, yeah, that was February 9th, 2022, only a handful of days before the Rams and the Bengals played the Super Bowl. But, yeah, I've been on this guy for a while. I just wanted to provide something that I thought hadn't already been said, because I think you covered everything about the player. Just wanted to leave that little gem up there just for horsepower.
Love it.
Yeah, go back up to your thumbnail right there.
Yeah, I see where you got the term Kodiak now.
Wait, what? Or
Yeah, Cowboy Kodiak could be the move.
oh yeah.
I just need to know what jerseys are right there.
Okay, so that's Muhammad Wilkerson, OBJ,
Okay.
Megatron, and then Danny Trevathan, Allen Robinson, and then behind Muhammad Wilkerson and Danny Trevathan is Terry McLaurin, because I bought that off DHgate because I wanted something Redskins before they changed their name.
Nice.
Wow.
Kodiak, I'm gonna. This is for you, brother.
Yeah.
I need to up my hack game.
That hat is awesome.
Yeah, definitely check out Kodiak NFL, because a
Well, I
lot
haven't
of your
posted-
takes on there have aged so well.
I haven't posted on that shit in a long time, but yeah, if you want to watch my old stuff, go ahead.
Dude, beautiful.
Love it.
So
I
number
respect
three,
Danny Trevathan jersey, by the way. That is
yeah, man.
mad
thank you.
respect.
Yeah, you know ball if you got a Danny Trevathan jersey.
Yeah.
Okay, my number 3 back right here, Jadarian Price. What else needs to be said other than that? He's a first-round talent. He's one of the best running backs in college football or in the NFL draft this year. The one question, or there's 2 question marks, the fumbling issue. All right. He has 4 career fumbles on a part-time load. He only has 281 career attempts and 4 fumbles. That's giving me slight Melvin Gordon vibes. But he's so much better than Melvin Gordon, guys. Just watch 2 minutes of this guy. He'll run through you. He'll juke you out of your cleats. And just a big-time playmaker, man. The other question mark I have with him is, can he earn Sean Payton's trust? And not to helmet scout, but I am. Audric Estime never did it because he had these fumble issues too. So maybe second time's the charm, drafting a Notre Dame running back who can be that bruiser at 5'11", 210. I feel like he's bigger than 210. He's got serious speed, and he can take this thing to the house. So Jadarian Price, Jonah Coleman, both of those guys are really close to me. I love those guys.
Yeah, Jadarian is a stud, man. I don't know how the hell Notre Dame didn't make the college football playoff with those running backs. They were crazy.
Right?
They were so good. But yeah, I think clear RB2 in the draft. He'd be awesome here, man. I didn't know he had that many fumbles. And honestly, I keep forgetting that Audric Estime went to Notre Dame. Kind of
I
forgot about
know.
him.
Oh,
completely.
and he tore his Achilles in 2022. But that was like 4 years ago.
Yeah, no big deal.
I think he's okay.
Yeah. Maybe he's faster, bro. He looks great.
Yeah.
Jadarian Price is a stud too, man.
Yeah, I like Jadarian Price. Okay. Jeremy, who's your number 2 running back?
Yeah, I guess I'm just today's not the day. I just picked the wrong order here, but Jonah Coleman's number 2,
Let's go.
and you'll find out who's number 1. Jonah Coleman, I mean, to me, I said, like, it's like tackling a bowling ball. Like, he's just so big and low to the ground. It's like, good luck trying to like tackle. Like, you don't have a choice but to kind of tackle him like around like the chest area, and good luck with that. Like, that is not going to happen. So he's just so powerful and just a problem to bring down. Another guy, like I said, I want a guy who can get that tough yard, and he's just not going to go down easily, and we just need that guy. So we talked about him already. He's only 22 years old. Yeah, Jonah Coleman, number 2.
Wonderfully said. It kind of reminds me of Maurice Jones-Drew, that lower base.
But
in a
like,
way.
230, 228 right now. And
Yeah.
at that age is like, this guy's going to be a problem.
He's a tank.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mark?
All right, so my number 2 running back he's only number 2 contingent on the fact that we do not trade for him. I am very opposed to trading for this player,
What?
but my number 2 is Breece Hall.
Yes.
We talked about him at nauseum. I know that's your baby, Davis. So sorry to take him, a little. I guess talk about him a little earlier. I'll let you get all the glory, but I mean, Brees Hall's so damn good, man. Eli Betts would know, being a Jets fan, just how good he is. Like being on a crappy team, bad organization. All he does is ball. He can run between the tackles. He catches the hell out of the football too. I look at him like very similar to Travis Etienne. They're the same size. They're very similar in a lot of different ways. He's just a little bit better in everything, I feel like, Brees Hall. So only knock on him, I'd say, is he has had a little bit of a fumbling problem, and he's not the best pass protecting running back, but I don't care, dude. He's dynamic. We need a back that, like, every time you touch the football, you can take it to the house. That's exactly what Brees Hall does. So he's my number 2.
Wonderful. Kodiak?
Now, I do have something to say. Why are you opposed to trading for him?
Because, well, okay, if we're going to trade like a 5th rounder because they tag and trade him, fine. I don't think it's going to take that. And for me, you know how I am about running backs. Running backs are rentals. They will always be rentals. That's why drafting them in the first round is stupid, because you would never draft a player at any other position if they were like, hey, they're only going to play for you for 4 years. They're not going to sign a second contract. You would never draft them. But for running backs, for whatever reason, it seems like it's okay. So I'm not going to, because for me, it's like you can sign Travis Etienne potentially, right? You don't know what's going to happen without having to give up another premium asset for him. I'd rather have my assets to continue to build this team and roster. And then, get a running back, whether it be the free agent guys we talked about, a lot of good guys in the draft, to complement. Like, that's just kind of how I feel. Okay. But nice. Would you trade for him?
Yeah, I mean, if it was like the scenario you described, like, were you trading like that 5th rounder, or like, let's say you had to trade the 4th rounder from like the Vele trade, Vele for Brees Hall.
Yeah, I think that would be my ceiling. I wouldn't go 3rd. I wouldn't go 2nd.
No.
Obviously.
Fuck no, but yeah.
Because weren't they trying to get a 3rd at the trade deadline?
Yeah, the Chiefs said no. That legitimately could have saved their season had they.
That honestly shocked me that they said no.
They were going to give they said no to a 3rd for Brees Hall?
Yeah.
Really? I did not see that. Interesting. It's probably a good thing. Actually, I kind of wish they did it, to be honest with you, because I'm terrified that they're going to draft the stud running back in the first.
But. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. Jeremiah Love's going to bust, just like Aston Genty did. Math is simple.
I don't know if he goes to the Chiefs, he will, though. But
listen, all I'm saying is the last time the Chiefs took a 1st-round running back, they certainly hit it out of the park with Clyde Edwards-Helaire, right?
Yeah, they might have PTSD from that. they really might. That's why I didn't take him in my mock draft, because I was like, they might be freaking out from that still. But yeah, Kodiak, what you got, man?
Well, that's also one more thing. That's why you never ever let your players draft for you. That's Mahomes who you want. Clyde Edwards-Helaire. All right, guys. So I do have this at 0.5 speed, so none of us feel the effects of potentially getting flagged with college football film. But Mike Washington Jr. All right, you guys. I wanted to do something because I felt like I was a little late to the Mike Washington hype trade. So I put this out on Twitter, man. I'm ready for the Broncos to go up into the mid-1st round for this guy. Okay, I promise you, he would completely revamp our offense. All right, when you watch him on film, what do you see? I see like Saquon JT level movement. Now, obviously, he is not that caliber of prospect. I mean, Taylor did even lasted until 41st overall, but he's not a Saquon level prospect. He's not a Zeke level prospect, but I see the athleticism. I think he's one of those guys that if he really, really tears up the combine, I think that this could potentially be the range that we're talking about for Mike Washington. And yeah, like I said, 6.4 yards per carry on a 2-10 Arkansas team with a bad offensive line. All right. And that Arkansas offensive line, they are so good in rushing yards over expectation. I had Razorback fans in my mentions like, what are you talking about? Our offensive line is so good. I'm just like, dude, it's Bo Nix syndrome all over again. It's not as good as the advanced analytics think it is because you have a stud right there. And hold on. I'm trying to scroll through here. All right. So then this is what I had consistently seen out of Mike Washington when I was watching the film. Okay, there's just nowhere to go consistently. And the fact that he got 6.4 yards per carry when his offensive line was just getting blown up, it just speaks volumes to how he was just as a pure playmaker when he did get those chances. So yeah, once again, Mike Washington's already been talked about pretty much on this show, but Yeah, overall, I think, I'm ready to go up. I'm ready to trade up for him. I think that would be a fantastic move. And I think that he would really, really be a game breaker. He's going to be a game breaker for whoever drafts him, but I think he is truly what the Broncos are missing.
Dude, trading up in the first, though, for it would be wild for my, like, I don't think you need to trade up for my Washington. I think you definitely get him at 30.
We'll see.
Well, if you trade up for him, then you guarantee you get him.
That's true. We still do have 2 months left of this draft cycle. So obviously things will fluctuate. We'll hear different things, but I don't think he will go that high, but I would take him that high. Is what I'm trying to say.
I like it.
Oh, he's 100% going to be available at 30. I'm almost certain.
Yeah. But
and I wouldn't take him at 30.
Stand on 10 toes as Kodiak. That's what I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Darren McFadden.
It's a really good comp, man. Helmet scouting a little bit, but that's a really good comp.
Yeah.
I like that.
I see a lot of it. That makes a lot of sense.
Beautiful. All right. My number 2 guy, Travis Etienne. Not much to say outside of I'm game with going and getting guys that are good, that are better than the guys that we got, that are elite level playmakers. How often do you guys in the comments that are fighting over a running back salary are complaining during the season about how this team needs more playmakers, man? Well, there's not exactly a ton available at the wide receiver room in free agency. There are plenty at the running back position. Travis Etienne being one of the best. So don't tell me this man can't run between the tackles. Go and watch him. He can do it. So I totally disagree with this. Etienne means Sean didn't like Harvey to begin with. Harvey's a very good running back. Travis Etienne is even better. I don't understand how those things fight with each other. You get a legit starting running back, then you got a fantastic 1B in RJ Harvey. I don't know. Am I oversimplifying this?
No.
Go out and get a legitimate starting running back. That's all I want.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, it's like somebody saying, "Oh, Sean hates Mark Ingram, so he drafted Alvin Kamara." It's like it's not how it works, man. You got to have 2 really good backs, especially in Sean Payton's system. Sometimes he even does 3. So no, those things are completely, there's no correlation there between them at all.
All right, let's get to everybody's number 1 fit.
All right, my number 1 pick. We've talked about the fumbles. We've also already talked about this guy, but this is a straight up absolute playmaker that we do not have and haven't had for a long time, in my opinion. It's Jadarian Price. I mean, every time I see him hit the football, it's like it could go to the house. This guy, I mean, he's an absolute stud. And like you said about the frame, I think he's bigger than that. He's only 22, straight breakaway speed. Like if you give him a crease, that could be it. And good vision. And it's just the playmaking ability is just, I want Bo to have offensive weapons. I want the opportunity to like take a check down to the house or that's the thing. It's like not a 20-yard gain could be a 70-yard touchdown. And make things easier, take stuff off. Like I want long drives because we're supposed to have this great offensive line and yada, yada, yada. Okay. You give this guy that type of a hole. Like, I just think that would be the perfect type of guy. Now the knock is he split time with Jeremiah Love. So he wasn't the RB1. You didn't see that much. And he had like the fumble issue, but he also didn't have the wear and tear because of that. So I don't know, man. Like everybody loved Travion Henderson last draft, and he split time. To me, it's like it's the same type of guy where it's just like, and again, like wasn't he like I want to say he didn't he return kickoffs as well?
Yeah,
mm-hmm. Yeah,
So,
he's a really good kick returner.
Another like with these new rules, like. You get a guy back there that can take something of Mims' play as far as that kind of thing. And I don't know. I just want weapons that scare people, and I could just like if you're accounting for your running back and then you have Bo booting out the other way, or he's like doing those, run pass options. I don't know. I just think it could be a great fit for him. But Jadarian Price, dude, I would take him in the first. I wouldn't wait around and hope that he slips. I would do it. And if the Chiefs are going to draft Jeremiah Love, let's just say they do, you could get an equivalent type of guy at the back end of the first round and have that same type of like 1-for-1. Okay, we're right there with you. So I don't know. When I watch him, I'm just like, I don't see what the issues are really. Like he's exciting. So
I definitely like him more than Omarion Hampton. I know a lot of people wanted him in Denver last year at 20. What did he pick 20? I think he's a better prospect than Omarion Hampton was, personally. Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, it's just the playmaking, dude. It's just like, that was the thing with TD could take it. Clinton Portis back in those days, it's like one cut and he's gone. And it's just like, oh man, what was going to end up being like this like slog is now you're up 14-0 in the first quarter because somebody broke something. Like, I want that. So.
All right, Mark, who's your number one choice?
All right. Well, this is just a pipe dream unless some sort of miracle happened that we would be able to get this guy. But listen, last year I thought that the greatest running back that I ever watched or evaluated in college was Ashton Genty, and that only lasted for 1 year. I've never seen somebody with the skill set of Jeremiah Love, and it scares the hell out of me that he might go to Kansas City. This kid is so incredibly special. Like, I get blown away every time I watch him. He's so good. He's I'll even go as far as saying like he's probably the best running back in the NFL already. It's kind of what I see in some of the traits. Now I know you can't obviously say that because the competition is different, but man, his vision is elite. His contact balance is elite. His elusiveness, the way he runs through traffic. And I've never seen somebody not slow down at all when they're making a move. Like, he had a spin move against Pitt. He didn't even lose 0.1 mile an hour on the run. He just was in a full sprint, juked the dude in a spin move out of his boots and took it to the house. He's impressive, man. Just so damn good. He can catch the football too. I love Jeremiah Love, man. I love both the Notre Dame running backs. I was watching freaking Malachi Fields and Eli Raridan, and I stopped watching them all the time because I'm watching both these guys run the ball. So if somehow, some way Jeremiah Love comes within, striking distance for the Broncos, like if he makes it to 20 or 21, as someone that's always been super opposed to trading up for a guy, I would be like, do it. Trade up, get Jadarian Price. I would make the exception for him because I think he's that good. For Jeremiah Love, sorry. I think he's just so special, man. Phenomenal player. He would be the number one on my draft list, even though, again, not very realistic. But yes, I agree with Matt. He's so good, man. Like, so he checks every box. You
trade next year's first for him, to go up and get him, you think?
Next year's first. So pick number 32. I think it depended on what we did in free agency, to be honest with you. Like, if I really like the free agency class that we got, like, man, we got an inside linebacker. We're set at the tight end position, or we're a lot more comfortable there. Maybe we signed Wan'Dale Robinson. I would say, yeah. I would. But
hey, I got some great responses. We got a no, we got a yes, we got another no.
The best is you got the complete opposite end of the spectrums on the no and the yes too. The heck yes, and the fuck no.
Yeah. That's what now, the 2027 class, I have done no scouting for that.
Yeah,
I don't
I heard it's gonna be good
either. Okay.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Who knows?
You never know.
A lot of people said that this is going to be a really good quarterback class. They're talking about Arch Manning and all that, and there's going to be one quarterback taken in the draft probably this year.
I don't even know will be that great. So
I think the heck knows don't come from his ability at all. It just comes from the positional value. It says two first for an RB is like. I look at it. Yeah, I mean, I look at it really. It's really one first because you're using this year's first to select them.
right? So you're just
Right.
giving up a first next year.
Right.
Which will be
you know,
32. We all know
Which
that.
which sucks. But like, it's also one of those where once you kind of swallow it, you're like, all right, who gives a shit? We got to wait another year for it to matter. So let's just go out and ball. But it wouldn't be the smartest move necessarily. But yeah, Jeremiah Love is worth it, man. He's just so good, dude.
Is Jeremiah Love good enough to where because like now you got me thinking about how Sean Payton thought of Patrick Mahomes with the Saints, right? And he regrets not trading up to make sure they got him. Is Jeremiah Love that kind of good?
I mean, I think so, but it's just so different because, a lot of people have him going top 10. The only thing that could be working in our favor this year is maybe teams have it's like a copycat league, right? You remember the Eagles, they won the Super Bowl against the Chiefs. Their defensive line was just dominating. So everyone was talking about, we need to go out and get that dominant defensive lineman. And then this year it's, Nicky Manwari was such a stud with the Seahawks. Everyone wants that like in the box hybrid nickel type of safety. And then Ashton Genty went 6th overall last year. And I don't think anybody, even the hardcore Raiders fans out there, could admit that was a good pick. It absolutely was not a good pick. And so maybe like teams are like, taking it back that early if you're not ready for it. But again, now you got teams that are going to have much better infrastructure around running backs. Like Kansas City would make sense, even though an O lineman or a receiver might make more. So if he falls a little bit, I think then he can start having that conversation. But I think he is that caliber of player, to answer your question, David.
And everybody has him so high on their boards, but they need a place to stick him like in a mock draft. So like, Kansas City, because they're drafting high this year, which they normally wouldn't be, and they need a running back. But it's like Kansas City's got more problems than just that.
Yeah.
So like, and they, like you said before, they have been burned by that first round running back because they thought, let's just pair him with the, Patrick Mahomes. So I always get nervous when everybody agrees on something. I'm like, okay, then that's probably not going to happen. And that's what it seems like on this one is everybody thinks he's going there, which he might, and that would suck for us. But at the same time, they got other problems. They got a lot of older, great players retiring and getting old. So they have more to think about. Yeah. I would probably trade back if I was them, but who knows?
I mean, I did a mock today, and I'd even like mean for this to happen, but Jeremiah Love fell to 25. I think I took him with Chicago. And I was thinking about it. I was like, I just really did that because I can kind of see other teams going in another direction. But I mean, it's tough. It's tough to see like if Genty went 6 and all of the only real question marks you had on Genty were what last year? He played at Boise. So is that going to affect him? And he had a little bit of a fumbling problem, whatever. That wasn't that big a deal.
He's
and he had a lot of tread on
Harvey.
Well, and he had a lot of tread on his tires, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So he's not the biggest guy. Jeremiah Love played at Notre Dame, does not have a lot of tread on his tires, is much bigger, faster, more explosive. He's got it. Like there really is no question mark with this kid. Like it's crazy. Nothing. So it's like, man, if and it's not just me. I think a lot of people probably have him rated higher than Ashton Genty. So if he went 6, it's hard to think that he's gonna drop out of the top 10. But that would be great. That would be great.
To defend Genty just a little bit, it's like look at no offense to Eli, but look at like to the Jets or like where you end up getting drafted is so important. If Genty goes somewhere else, he has a chance. I think he has a much different year. So
no, I agree.
It's one of those things like Saquon not sucked, but he didn't live up to expectations as a Giant, and then you put him in Philly and he's the MVP. So,
and I think Genty's on that exact same trail, dude. I think he's gonna have a better sophomore year, and then he's gonna blow up in years 3 and 4, and then they're probably gonna let him walk, and then he's gonna go to a good team because the Raiders are just ass, and then he'll sign a big contract somewhere else and he'll ball out there. It's probably what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, so your number one choice, Mark, was Jeremiah Love. Kodiak, where are you going with yours?
Well, 2 things. I just want to add on to a little bit of the talk. And then I'll let it be put to rest. First of all, the Chiefs are drafting at number 9. They're going to get a good player regardless. So we just kind of got to swallow that. And I don't know whether it's Jeremiah Love, even though that would be the smart pick, whatever. But also the Raiders, should have drafted Membu. Like, that's just what they should have done at this point.
Yep.
All right. And you know what, David? I've already hijacked the show with just enough chaos. So I want to give you the floor because your number one is also my number one.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Go ahead.
It's Breece Hall, baby. It's Breece Hall. I got to say it every week. People are like, don't pay running backs. Don't pay running backs too much. You can find another one. You can find a bargain bin running back that can hit every year. Guys, we've been looking for that guy for 15 years. We've been looking for an elite running back for freaking forever. And I don't know. This might be a hot take. I think slow-mo no Sean Moreno might be the best running back we've had here in the last 15 years.
At least that we drafted.
Yeah, that we've drafted or that's played multiple seasons with the Broncos. He's been the best one. Now, not to say that's why you go and spend a first-round pick on a running back with multiple ACLs and stuff like that. Probably shouldn't have done that. But you go and spend big. Let's not act like running backs aren't the best bang for your buck right now in the market. We're talking about a wide receiver too, costing double the amount of money per year and having less impact on an offense than what running back does, man. Breece Hall making Darnell Mooney money is not something anybody should be fussing over at all. One bit. I don't care about fit. I don't care about how Breece Hall compares to freaking RJ Harvey, Jaleel McLaughlin, and Tyler Bidet on the roster. It doesn't matter. Improve this room to where you got 4 dogs, like what Kodiak was talking about. I need dogs. I need guys that can take a check down to the house like Jeremy was talking about. Breece Hall is all of that. He's a Hall of Fame talent. What other Hall of Famers can you go and get for $13.5 million a year? And yes, you do trade the Saints pick for him because at the end of the day, it's a 4th-round pick. Nobody cares. So trade for him, sign him. I don't care. Get an elite running back here in Denver. We haven't had one since Clinton Portis. We are the Denver Broncos. What are we doing? What are we doing? We're the Denver Broncos. We should care about running backs.
Yep, I agree, man. Well said. Well said. He said that's a good point. We've been looking for those people for 15 years. I'm there at the tight end position too, man. I'm like, I don't really care who the hell we get because we've been searching for so long. Just pay whatever. And you're absolutely right with the running back position.
Yeah, man. I mean, how many guys have we drafted that just who's the kid from Oregon that we drafted a while back?
Oh, Royce Freeman.
Dude,
Rolls
Freeman,
Royce.
dude.
Rolls Royce.
That guy was
He's
supposed
still
to
in the
be
league.
amazing. That guy just showed up with no speed from Oregon.
Yeah. That was such a settled pick.
Lindsey basically killed any hope of him working out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
And
it was
shade to
crazy.
Philip Lindsay, but he's probably been our best back since I guess Noshawn, right? 2,000-yard seasons and
I'd say probably CJ.
CJ.
Maybe CJ Anderson.
CJ was a dog, but I'm with
Used to
Jeremy.
love CJ.
Rookie year Javante was just different, man. You
Yeah.
remember watching him just drag dudes on his back for
Yeah.
fucking 30 yards?
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
insane. Remember the run
Yeah.
against the Cowboys where he was in a huddle, a scrum, and then he just gets out of it and trucks a dude. Oh my God. I'm so sad he didn't work out here.
It's probably why he's a Cowboy because of that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Congrats
Happy
on-
for him though, man. That's awesome. Awesome
he
that
got
he got
paid.
paid.
He got paid. Good for him.
Got
Yeah.
paid big.
Deserved it.
But yeah, sign. There's 6 running backs we could sign free agency that I would be totally happy with.
Yep.
There's, I don't know, 10 running backs we could draft that I would be happy with.
Mhm.
And it's not. Can we just show some effort in drafting this position? So
Well, I feel like if we actually if we actually spent a lot of money on a running back, Sean would almost feel obligated to utilize that running back. He'd have to be like, listen, we invested in this dude. We actually have to use him entirely. And that's what I want to see. I'm sick of seeing 12 rushing attempts and 48 throws in a game that we led most of it. And we led the whole time. And you're like, oh, that seems to make a lot of sense. It drives me absolutely crazy.
Yeah. But also, I've seen this pop up with Brees. Like, what? He tore his ACL or something like that a few years ago.
On our field.
Yes. The only guys that seem to, stay generally healthy seem to be the only guys that are in, like, part-time committees, like Tyler Algier. Like, guys, it's just a position where you're going to get banged up. That's the risk. That's why people don't like paying Darnell Mooney money to running backs. I don't care. I don't care. If he can finish the majority of the seasons, which he has, he's good in my book. Heck, we all want J.K. Dobbins back for a third year, right? Or maybe some of us do, as like the RB3. You take what you can get from these guys.
Yeah. And am I missing something? I mean, that's the only injury that he's missed games with.
Yeah.
And like all he did the following year when he came back from it is have 1,500 all-purpose yards and 9 touchdowns in his first year back.
With the
Jets.
With freaking Nate Hackett.
Didn't he catch like 55 passes or something ridiculous?
76.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Even more than I thought.
76. So it's like, first of all, the injury happened in 2022. That's 4 years ago. And he's just been like really good since. It's not like, Javonte, where it took him 3 years to really not fully come back. Like, I'm not worried about the injury history at all. And he's 24 years old, man. He's the same age as RJ Harvey. In fact, I think he's younger. Pause. I think he might actually technically be younger.
Wait, yeah, I think
he is younger
RJ
because Harvey's already 25.
Yeah, Harvey just turned 25 a couple weeks ago, right?
So Breece Hall is younger than RJ Harvey, though. That's crazy. That's insane, actually. I don't know if that makes me happy or sad, but that's crazy.
One guy that didn't make anybody's list, J.K. Dobbins.
That was my other asterisk.
Okay.
I did it. I guess for me, it was like I would really like Rachaad White if it meant that we had J.K. Dobbins signed. I'm kind of assuming he's going to be back, but
I don't know.
I hope it's not. I hope it's not like, oh, we're just going to run it back with J.K.
Yeah, don't run it back just.
No.
Like you have 3 guys to replace or 2 if he comes back. So
yeah.
But how would you feel about J.K. Dobbins re-signing for like $2 million or something small, and then you draft 2, like somebody or some people are saying now you do. I mean, you could do like I would be fine I would be up for like Jadarian Price in the first, and then you get a McGowan or Singleton late, and now you got a lot of options. But honestly, like the move that would also be I'd be stoked for is re-signing J.K. Dobbins. Somehow you get Kenyon Sadiq in like the first, and then you get Mike Washington in the second, and then you get somebody late like that. Like now you have
Emmett Johnson,
a totally different vibe of your offense as far as like big, strong, tough guys, as opposed to what we have had is slender kind of finesse guys.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think that's the route they hopefully will be thinking. But Dobbins, I mean, we can't disrespect Dobbins. It's like the injury we all knew was coming came, but like up until that point, I mean, he was way better than anybody thought he was going to be.
And he's a top. He says he's a top 5 back when he's healthy, and the numbers show it.
He proved
he is unbelievably good.
Yeah.
When he's available, I always say he's like a Range Rover, man. Like beautiful cars, they look nice, they ride wonderful, but they are always in the shop, man.
Yeah,
always. So it's like, you want to buy one, or you want to lease it? So
exactly. And also, we are so lucky that J.K. Dobbins was available last June when he was. Like, not that I think that we literally reached out to him the day before. What was it, June 10th? We signed him. It's like it had definitely been coming for a while, but still, we were so lucky because this offense would have been an absolute nightmare for the first half of the year without him. And I always harp on that because I want to remind everybody what this team looked like. When it was still rough sledding in the first half of the year, and J.K. Dobbins basically was our whole offense, and then Bo really turned it up in the second half of the year. But man, I want J.K. Dobbins to come back, but he cannot be our only move at that position, and I think you guys are right. None of this. You know, I always bring up this meme. All right. None of this. No going to the podium after we signed J.K. Dobbins, and that's it. And being like, you know, we were in strong. We monitored. None of that. He can be a part of the solution. He can't be the solution in March.
We'll see how bad he wants to be a Bronco, man. Because I think he will have options.
Yeah.
In particularly options where he could get more time.
Maybe. Because it's a deep free agent class, man. Like real deep. And it's a pretty good running back class. So he could. But I would sign J.K. Dobbins, immediately put him on IR. Designate him to return whenever we want. Whenever we need him, that's what I would do. I'd say, listen, man, you're going to start the season on IR, and then when we're ready to call you up, that's how we're going to do it. We're not going to wait for you to go on IR. We're going to be proactive, put you on there, activate you when we're ready. That's what I want to do.
So we're going to be the NFL's version of the Golden Knights, basically, is what you're telling me.
Yes.
Put Mark Stone on long-term IR, you know, basically the whole season. Then game 1 of the playoffs, oh, here he comes.
Unlimited cap space as a result. It doesn't work like that. It'd be cool if it did, but yes, that's exactly what we're going to do. That's a good comp, Cody.
Yeah, put him on pup.
We want you to be available for the back half instead of the front half.
Yeah.
And also we can't discredit like RJ Harvey also improving a lot from year 1 to year 2.
Yeah.
So
and I think he was good.
Yeah. I think, you know, that experience in rookie year is always tough for running for rookies, or rookie years. You always hit a wall and all that. And he, like Kodiak said, thank God we had J.K. Dobbins to kind of let RJ get his feet wet. And then by the time we absolutely needed him, he was a lot more ready. But I could see him popping in year 2.
Yeah.
So you can't just assume he's going to be the exact same as we saw him last time.
No. But yeah, imagine when you have a really good running back as your RB2. Isn't that the scenario we've been talking about this whole time, guys? One to have a Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery thing, right? We're wanting that kind of dynamic, having two backs that could be starters on a lot of other teams in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you go sign Breece Hall, and that changes everything. But guys, I guess we'll find out maybe as soon as next Monday if Breece Hall will be a Bronco, right? Because tampering starts next Sunday or next Monday?
I think it's 2 weeks.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's
I thought it was next week.
No, I think the legal tampering, it's always on a Thursday when it starts. I think it's the 9th.
Yeah, it's March 9th, which is my birthday. And all I just want to say is 10 years ago on March 9th, 2016, the Broncos, their moves were letting Malik Jackson walk and letting Danny Trevathan walk and not tendering CJ Anderson. So hopefully 10 years later, when I turn 25, I'm a little happier than I was when I turned 15.
I think it's actually March 12th.
Oh, that's so far away.
Because the 9th is a Monday. But okay. So it's Wednesday, March 11th. We have the internet.
Okay, cool.
And that's when the tampering period starts.
That's when
dude, I'm an idiot. I'm stupid. You were right, Kodiak. The tampering period starts Monday, March 9th. And then it officially opens on the 11th. So March 9th, in 2 weeks.
My favorite part is when it's like the legal tampering starts on this date at this time. And it's like 5 minutes into it. They're like, we have a deal in principle.
We have sometimes it's the trade. The best is the trade. It's like, yeah, they figured that out in the first 30 seconds.
You're like, wow, that they were so legal with that tampering.
Yeah.
Like,
it all starts at the combine this week. All the tampering. That's when it starts.
Oh, we're being tampered with, right? Yeah, the tampering's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We'll see what all the insiders got to say. Hopefully, we get another Rob Gronkowski coming out of retirement rumor. That would be great.
I forgot about that. Who was it that broke that?
Cecil. Our guy. Yeah, I got a sleeper notification saying Rob Gronkowski apparently considering coming out of retirement to play for the Broncos. I was like, that's interesting. You know, I was like, wow, that notification hit everybody's phone on sleeper. And then I saw per Cecil Lammy, and I was like, okay, so it's not going to happen.
It was funny because I took it seriously, and even in my head, I was like, I don't like that. I don't think he's going to be able to do what he hasn't played in a few years.
Oh, man. He would have been so much better than everybody we had.
Oh,
that's true.
That's not saying anything.
Yeah.
Nope.
I mean, looking back on it now, I'd been thrilled. But
oh, man. Who runs faster, Gronk or Kroll at this point in their careers? Probably Gronk, honestly.
Yeah. We need a Gronk. We need a crayon eating guy in that room.
Yes.
Agreed.
We need more criminals in the running back room, more crayon eating people
In the
in
tight
the tight
end.
end room. So, guys, I'm going to shut this thing down. I got to get to bed. Chat was hilarious today. You guys were on fire with your takes. We'll be back next Monday to discuss. Maybe we'll do another position group, something like that. Maybe tight ends. Tight ends can be fun. Wide
Good.
receivers.
Pass catchers.
Yeah, pass catchers. I like that. Offensive
Like,
linemen.
open it up.
We'll
Yeah.
get to that.
Frank Crown.
Yeah. We'll get to that later on, but greatly appreciate every single one of you. Please go subscribe to all my friends. Links are in the description of the video. We'll see you next time. Go Broncos.
Go Broncos.
He's grabbed and he's going to be sacked.